What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy Gully back with another one. So I know I've been slacking on, upload content, but it's just been a lot going on, and it's kind of hard to record when you like rushing to get stuff done. So anyway, if you didn't know, if you didn't watch my other videos, we'll start with my issues with the Focus ST. I had some boost problems or whatever. Ended up dropping the car off on a Monday. It was like last week or so, or the week before that, and didn't end up getting the car back until the following Monday. So they had my car for an entire week. The same day that I dropped it off, the dealer called me and told me that he had found a tear in the throttle body hose. Basically, long story short, the people that had this car before me put a bigger throttle body on it, and they used the wrong size hose for the throttle body, and basically they used a hose that was too big, and they torqued the clamps down super tight, and it basically just made the hose kind of warp and give way, and so it just tore right in the middle. Here I can show you. This is what it looks like here. So this is what it looks like here. Obviously this is not stock, this is an aftermarket hose, and at first glance it doesn't actually look that bad, but it really is completely split, pretty much 50% all the way around. So that was the problem all along, like I thought it was. I had a boost leak, so he ended up having to order that part from Amazon because it wasn't a stock piece. He couldn't find the hose. He ordered them on Amazon. That following Monday, they was able to throw the part on. Boom, I was good to go. Had my boost back, car worked perfectly fine. I had already ordered a blow-off valve for the car, but I was waiting to get it back from the shop to actually put it on. However, I put it on and I did record some footage, but it was trash, so I scrapped it. But anyway, what I ended up finding though, which is interesting, when I took what I thought was the stock blow-off valve or the stock recirculating valve off the car, I found out that it was actually a Montoon recirculating valve that was already on there. So obviously these don't make no noise. They're just they're recirculating valves. So anyway, it was kind of interesting to find that out. Obviously whoever had this car before me actually put some money into it, and swapped out a bunch of stuff to some aftermarket stuff, because as of right now I found a bigger throttle body and I found that recirculating valve. But anyway, I ended up getting a TurboSmart blow-off valve. It's pretty common for these cars. There's a box there. I put it on. One thing I will say is a little harder than they make it seem to be, like when you watch videos for install, especially if you go to like CJ Pony's install video. They make it look real easy. In theory, it is real easy. I mean, it's 3 bolts and a vacuum line. The problem is that it's not that easy to get to. It's not a whole lot of space up in there. Like, if you don't have really small hands, it's kind of hard to do. But I got it done. It just took a little longer than I thought it was gonna take. Love the way it sounds. I'll drop a clip in because I did record something, so I'll drop that in right here. All right, so I got the old one off, but I found something interesting, which is that the blow-off valve is actually a Montoon part. So as you can see, that is a Montoon blow-off valve. There is the new one there, TurboSmart. Won't focus on it, but again, obviously whoever had this car before me spent some money, because I keep finding more aftermarket parts on it. So anyway, let's get this put on here. So yeah, as you can see, it's not too loud, but it's not, you know, too quiet either. To me, it's kind of like right in the middle. It's just right. So we got that installed. A couple days after that, I ordered my exhaust, which was a AWE catback track edition exhaust. So there's the touring and then there is the track. So obviously the track is a little bit louder than the touring or whatever. I got that in and then took it to a local exhaust shop or whatever. As you can see, they got a nice big ass package riding with us. That is the new exhaust for the ST. I'm about to drive up here real quick. I called them ahead of time to see if they can get this done today. They told me they could, so we are on our way up there right now. The exhaust itself was a little bit under 700, and then they charged me 150 to put it on. Yeah, it's not super hard to put on, but again, I just don't have a lot of time. I didn't have the proper tools at the time to do it, and you know, it's 150 bucks. You know, I was willing to dish out that money for, you know, not having to deal with it myself. So got it put on. The one thing I will note, and just a word of advice, never go off of what it sounds like straight out of the box. These exhaust systems actually have like a little break-in period, because when he installed it and then, you know, he brought it down off the lift, started it up, revved it for me, everything, I was actually slightly disappointed. Like, it didn't really sound as loud as I thought it was gonna sound, or as loud as I wanted it to sound. But the crazy part is, as I drove it through the day, it got louder and louder and louder. So I actually ended up looking it up because I was like, oh, maybe I'm just losing my mind. But yeah, when you look it up, a lot of people say that it actually does get louder over a few days after getting it installed. So I understand that whatever it sounds like straight out of the box is probably going to get a little louder after that. But I'm pleased with it. It's not too loud. Like, it's fairly quiet at idle. So you're not going to piss your neighbors off or anything like that. Like I usually, you know, sometimes my car is parked in between the houses, and you know, I'll get up early in the morning to go to work or whatever, so I don't want to have to, like, you know, park at the bottom of the driveway or park on the street or something like that, because I don't want to start my car up in between the houses. Like, it's really not that loud at idle. Even the cold starts are not that bad. But when you get into gas, you in a certain RPM range, it seems to be that 2500 to 3K RPM range seems to be when it's like at its peak loudest from in the car. It might sound different outside the car, but that's what it sounds like, you know, from within the car. So yeah, we need to take it out and get some footage of the exhaust and what it sounds like, you know, with the blow-off valve and all of that on there. But I'm happy with it. I can't complain. It is what it is. So.